The purpose of my project is for someone to make an account, and if they are an admin, then that admin has the right to make new jobs for other users to browse. Here's my ER diagram. A user, if they are an admin, they have the ability to add, delete, update, and read jobs, as well as a non-admin. We also have a foreign key for a job and company. That way those tables can be connected. Now I'm showing the table, how it's empty. And then I'm going to go ahead and show all the databases. For this project, CS480 project is the database, and when you use it, I go again show the tables and show that it has no entities I should say. So we're going to go ahead and start running the application for the first time. Boop, it boots up. Got that nice bootstrap framework, and there's a nice red initialize database button. I have a pop-up come up just in case you accidentally click it. You don't want to just initialize it. And it shows right here that all the tables are indeed ready to go. They are inside of that database. So I'm going to go ahead and run the describe on each of the tables. For TB company, the primary key is user. And then for job, primary key is job, with the company being the foreign key, which ties to the company's username. And then we have the user, and each user has a primary key of username, a unique one. Here are the SQL statements that implement the ERD. I make sure to drop the TB jobs table first because TB company has a foreign key attached to jobs. And then I run these SQL statements as well as the primary keys if things are not null, and then the auto increment for the job ID since jobs can keep going up infinitely. I, Alrighty, so I'm going to log in and then I'm going to just jump right into making a new user. I'm going to name him Super Chicken. Once that's there, you can see the read functionality being shown right here, listing the entire table. And then I jump right straight into the MySQL terminal thingy here, and then I can show you that it is indeed right there in that entity table, Super Chicken. So now let's see, what can we do. So here are the SQL statements to insert that into the TB user values. So we take all of the strings that the user provided from the form, and then we put it in a object of user and then add that user to the SQL database. Here we're selecting everything from that table to show how to read and populate. And now really quickly I'm going to update right here, and we can see that we changed it to AskMaster. I'm sorry for the profanity. There's a reason for it. I'll get to it in a bit. And again, here's the SQL statement for it. And then for deleting, it does bring up a prompt if you're sure you want to delete, and then it shows a certain user. You can close out of it or accept that. And then right here, you can see that we deleted Super Chicken. He is dead. And then there is the SQL statement for it. So we're deleting and we're matching that username since it's the primary key. So now for companies, we're going to go ahead and add a new company. I'll just use my Shazam powers over here to type it really fast. And bam, here we're listing the entire table of companies. We'll go ahead and quickly update. Notice how that's probably really fast, but we do have it auto-populate when it updates. So that way you don't have to retype everything over and over again. You just change what you want to change. Again, deleting. Are you sure you want to delete this? Yep, go ahead, delete it. And bam, there's companies. And this is the same process for jobs. So again, we have the table populate. We'll add a new job. All right. And bam, there we go. So now when we view it, we see that we have our new job down there, programmer. So we'll add another one really quickly. So that way I can show the deleting functionality, and there it is, deleting prompt, and bam. So awesome. As for updating, it is not all the way implemented. Some of it is. Basically, it does return all of the fields. So when you click a certain job, it will say, hey, look, bam. But I did not get a chance to finish that part. Alright, so for the simple query, we're going to list all vulgar usernames in descending order in the table for users. That way we can detect users with vulgar names, and we can update or delete those users that are trying to be funny, but they're not. They're just trolls. So we'll just go ahead and just change Ass Master to Digimon Master. And when we go ahead and look at the table of vulgar usernames, it is not there. It is not vulgar. So we can keep looking to see if any new users change or make new nasty accounts. Here's the SQL statement where I make everything uppercase, so that way case doesn't matter if they decide to type lowercase a and then capital SS. And then I compare it to other words like, the F word, the B word, and then ass. And if I detect any of those, then it's going to populate. Alright, so we're going to list all the company bios with vulgar language regardless if it's uppercase or lowercase. So here's the SQL statement. I'm going to come back to it in a bit and show you more of it. But really quick, we have a company bio that has ass in it. I believe it's Prim Algo. Yep, they have something, insert something about ass here. So I'm going to go to the button that I made here to list all the company bios that have vulgar things. And we see that we get one entity returned back to us. So I'm going to go, here is the SQL statement for it. We can see that it's testing the ass word, the F word, the B word, and if it's there, then it's going to go ahead and list it onto the table. We're going to show jobs. Here are all the jobs that are in Koriyama and Tokyo. So we're going to see all the jobs not in Tokyo, and we see that we get everything but Tokyo returned back to us. And here it is. So we're selecting everything from the TB job where the location is not Tokyo, Japan. So here we want to see the jobs for the company name. And again, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's company location, and here it is the timestamp. So I'm going to use the code from GitHub to show you. I literally made a function called company location. I don't even know why I kept thinking company name. But yeah, view jobs where the company location is empty, not the company name, the company location. So here I have a company location that is empty. So I'm going to go log in real quick. And here we can see that, oh, there it is. So if I remove it, there's an autocorrect. And there's a field that requires, I should say, that you have to put something and you can't leave it empty. So this is really good for just in case for some reason we have an empty string for the company location. Again here. So I have to go back to the code and force it. And then really quickly here we see that There it is. The company name is empty. So then we have a table where it's empty. Again, just showing the GitHub code. So viewing jobs where the company location is empty when I meant company name. Since this is a complex query, I wanted to make sure that I get at least some points for it. I know I made a mistake with the naming, but yeah, I mean company location, not company name, company location. So, but all right, so the company location is empty. We see that there. So we're gonna get, that shouldn't be empty. I don't know why it's empty, but I'm going to put some sort of value in there. I could put any value in there. But here I change it back to a arbitrary location, and now that table is empty because there are no empty company locations. So now we want to see all the jobs with a company size that is less than or equal to 500. So I'm going to go here and we're going to look at jobs with a company size less than or equal to 500. We see that we have one here. We have one job less than 500. So I'm going to go ahead and update one of the companies to have a company size of exactly 500, and we'll go back and you can see here now that it is indeed in this table. We have a table of company sizes less than or equal to 500. Here's the SQL code for it. Again, we are selecting everything. So we're combining all the values, and I'm just basically taking the company size and putting the condition on that company size and then returning the results. So now we're going to view all the jobs where the company name begins with the letter P, and we'll accept jobs from out of Japan as well. So quickly again, we're going to go through the SQL stuff. We're going to the main trick with all of my SQL commands is I'm interjoining them, grabbing, like I have the whole list expanded, and I'm just grabbing the columns that I need. So I want the company name as well as if they are willing to sponsor a visa. So those are the two things that I care about. And I go ahead and put that information into the jobs class object, and then I can go ahead and run it. See, run the table so that way I can get that information. So here the company name is P and they are willing to sponsor a visa. Alright, so let's see really quickly. I'll update a company here. I'll change the P to something like C. Here we got Crim Algo. So that does not satisfy the condition for that SQL statement to run. So it's just going to show an empty table. Alright, I should probably change it back. Yeah, I'll do it real quick. So I'll change it back, put the P there. So now Prime Algo, and they're willing to sponsor. And bam, I'll just do it one more time. And yeah, see, so we have Prime Algo. The job company begins with a P, and they are willing to sponsor. So now we want all the jobs from a company that's in Koriyama, and they want someone with a high proficiency of Japanese language ability. So here's our SQL statement. As I said earlier, again, we are going to interjoin, and I'm going to grab everything. I'm going to grab where the job language is either N1, 2 are native, as well as the company location being in Koriyama, Japan. So those are the two things I care about. Job language and company location. And then for language, N1 and 2 are native. And N1 and N2 are kind of like the TOEIC test in America for English. So, alright, so we'll see all the jobs where the company's in Koriyama and they want a high level. So we have one right here. They're in Koriyama, Japan, and they definitely want a JLPTN2 and at a minimum. So that is pretty hard to get. And last here, we'll show all the programming jobs, and we'll also show the company bio as well. So, alrighty. Let's do what we always do. I'll show you what we have here. We have the job title says programmer. That's one of the things we care about is the job title saying programmer. And here we show that the company bio is right next to the job description, so you can get a view of both of them. For our SQL statement, again, we're grabbing that That whole thing is like bunched in together. We got two tables with columns all the way down, and I care about the programmer part in the job title. And once I see programmer in the job title, then I'll grab that.